If the economy is growing and stocks are at record highs, why is inflation so high? And stocks are at record highs. Stocks are prices, inflation is rising prices. The stock market is not a representative of the real market, but of how investors trust stocks as an investment. If prices are increasing so fast, why is inflation still high? Because as long as people will pay for a one bottle of water, arbitrary example, companies will sell a bottle of water for 4. A number of economists and market analysts have already stated that the current inflation rate is due to companies selling shit for whatever cost they can get away with. Reality check. Inflation is too high, but compared to the 1970s it is pretty low. The biggest obstacle right now is rents, and that is going to persist until more housing units get built. Nothing got built for a couple of years. Blame Milton Friedman, the champion of supply-side economics. In a 1970 piece in the NYT, he argued without evidence that social responsibility of business is to increase its profits. Increased profits mean more dividends for shareholders, who then reward the CEO with raises. There's no reason that gas prices are so high other than fat cats getting fatter. The same thing applies to every other large industry that's bleeding the public. Because Republicans keep blocking inflation reduction. The one decided that the gap between us and them wasn't big enough. Corporate greed. Many of the companies that sell the goods with inflated prices are showing record profits and using those profits to buy their own stock, which raises their stock price, which makes more money for themselves and their stockholders. And the way that they are making profit is this. The price of one of the ingredients in their product goes up, and it even gets mentioned in the news. There is a shortage of X ingredient which is used in popular soft drinks Gouge and Diet Gouge. So Gouge Co. knows that consumers will be expecting a price increase. A liter of Gouge usually costs $1.99. The shortage of the ingredient means that they will have to raise the cost 30 cents per liter to make the same profit. So they raise it $1. Because they know people are already expecting an increase, they just don't know how much. For the same reason that the economy is growing and stocks are at all-time highs. Though inflation has come down and isn't nearly as high as it was in 2022, inflation is not high. Inflation was very high for a few months in 2021. It's been back to normal levels for over a year. But inflation is a measure of how fast prices rise. It's not a measure of what prices are. Prices increased a lot in 2021 as people who had been sitting at home for a year finally started going out and spending again. Since then, wages have increased to make up the difference. Inflation makes things cost more. Stocks are things. What do you think is inflating? The record high is because they are taking more of your money. A fast-growing economy generally correlates with higher inflation. And unemployment and inflation are inversely correlated. It is rare that we get to enjoy fast growth and low unemployment while simultaneously experiencing low inflation. People act like the economy is just an XY axis graph that doesn't react to much. Really, it's AZ, 9 dimensions, and might as well use a magic 8-ball to make decisions. Greed. I think what OP meant to ask was, if corporations are making record profits, why are prices still so high? Wait for the rug pull cash out. Corporate greed.